gentlemen, please welcome your host for this evening, Mr. Albert Ross.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Thanks everybody. Welcome to Yorkshire Telly Live. This is our first ever live internet broadcast, so thank you for joining us online and in the audience as well. It's very exciting to be here. Okay, so tonight we've got 4 guests for you, and we're going to be delving into the worlds of comedy, culture, mountaineering and live music. So the idea behind the show is basically, if you're at home, you can join in from the comfort of your own home. If you've got a question for the guests, a suggestion, a heckle, a comment of any kind, basically get on Twitter. Let's just show you this.
Any heckling?
Saving my best stuff for later.
Hang on a second. You
Apple
can go on
tap.
Twitter and
Apple
you can tweet us. Let's get this up and running.
Somewhere out in the ether.
Somewhere on here. Let's have
Welcome to the future.
Yes! So, you can either tweet us using the hashtag YTLive, and we'll see your comments up here, and we'll be able to talk about them and respond to them. Also, there's a chat room which I think is on my left here, on your right hand side of the screen, where you can send us a message, heckle us if you want, tweckle us. Cheers.
Practice that one.
Yes, thanks. And we'll be keeping an eye on that throughout the show and responding to it. But anyway, I'm waffling now, so it's time to bring on our very first guest. He's a man that The Guardian described as massively engaging, guitar playing stand-up, whose instinctive rapport with audiences makes him welcome wherever he goes. Well, we're certainly going to give him a very warm welcome here at Yorkshire Telly. Let's put our hands together for Silky!
Hello, Internet.
Okay, so, what now?
I think we should do what they do on a lot of the rest of the Internet and make out.
Let's get on, big man. Wow, that's just, the ratings have just shot through the roof.
Boom! In your face, MSN Messenger.
I actually, when we first decided to do this show, I went on the internet to do some research about you, and
You've got to watch out, because if you Google Silky, you can come up with lots of sites run by German men who really like girls in tights.
yeah, well,
Really like, really.
that did happen to me actually, so we won't talk about it now, just in case my mum was watching. But, so, I did put some questions together, and the first one I wanted to ask you is, what exactly is it that you do?
Nobody knows.
Does everybody know?
The answer was lost in a fire. I'm a stand-up comedian. I've been a stand-up comedian since I was 18. I was a virgin until I was 19, so I've been in stand-up. Yeah, there's your first internet exclusive Yorkshire Telly. That's right.
Do you want to give her a shout out while we're on?
Yeah, well, she's married now and lives down in Somerset somewhere. But I know my current girlfriend's watching. Please stay my current girlfriend. I have plans for you that involve happiness. She's ballooned. Yeah, the first one is no. So I always like making people laugh and going pink in social situations. I just blend it straight through. I run comedy clubs as well. I run 8 gigs in Yorkshire. For West Yorkshire Playhouse.
Yep.
That's wherever you are on the internet, that's what. Just
Can you tell us about Kill for a Seat? What's this?
yeah, we run the nicest little comedy clubs. We just want everyone to be happy. It's very, very simple.
Fantastic. Okay, so you're not from around here, as we know. Hang on, what have we got here? Leeds Indie Radio, Silky being interviewed now on Yorkshire Telly.
Yeah.
Thanks for that, Leeds Indie Radio. We do know that. Keep them coming in.
We've noticed. It's obvious.
You might as well just wait here, because he's just here.
Stop it.
Sorry, breaking the fourth wall.
The magic.
Yeah, the fourth wall. Okay, so you're not from Yorkshire, obviously.
No,
we can tell that.
originally I'm from Merseyside. I'm from Liverpool.
Okay.
But I moved to York about 6-7 years ago.
And what brings you to Yorkshire? Was it love?
Originally it was another girl. I just realised.
It's going well for
us at home going, right, well, it was his birthday and we can take that off the list and that off the list. and I was looking for somewhere to live when my previous relationship broke down in flames. Thanks for
And could be again next week. By looks of it.
Later on this evening.
So can you take us through a typical day in the life of Silky? What's a typical day for you?
Yeah, kind of wake up, open one eye, regret. Almost make like a wave, open the other eye, realise it wasn't a dream. I did say those things to strangers. Get up, make a cup of tea, go to the loo. Sometimes the order's different and I go to the loo and then wake up.
Excellent.
36 now, it can happen. So watch out for that. Consult a doctor.
Something else I read on when I researched you online is a quote from something called City Life, and they said that you were born funny.
Born funny.
Were they present at your birth? Or?
No, born funny is one of those things that could go either way. It could either be a compliment or
It could mean something.
We've got a little question for Silky actually there. If you look at
Where
the...
did Silky get his name? Hello, the Crunch Jim. I got my nickname in my first week at university. I used to have very long hair. I had a ponytail. Yeah, believe it. Time does this. Time and the sea.
To be honest, Silky, I think that's a better look than a ponytail. Sorry, any ponytail.
Ask
Controversial.
yourselves the question: do you really want to look like that? Do you? No,
sorry to all status quo fans and ponytail wearers.
Don't apologise to status quo fans. As long as you consistently rooted them for 40 years, they're like that. I had my ponytail cut off for charity around about the time of the millennium, and everyone said you look really good with short hair. That means that for the 7-8 years I had a ponytail, all my mates thought I looked like a weapons-grade bellend, and none of them were kind enough to tell me. So yeah, there was that, and there was some kissing ladies. So yeah, so
Fantastic. So,
oh, it's very soft hair. You try it.
Ooh, it's like. Actually, I can't say that. It's lovely.
If you want to see more, donate now.
Okay, thanks, Crunch Jim, for that tweet. That was a good question. Remember, if anyone else has got any questions on Twitter or the chat room, then we'll be keeping an eye on it. What else was I going to ask you? I was going to ask you about material and things. When you're travelling around a lot on trains and buses, is that a good source of material?
Sometimes a drive as well. Trains are good. Buses are better because you do feel very superior. You only have the option of trains, or walking, or staying at home. Yeah, there's lots to see and do. I did see a small child and a no-nonsense grandma, and the no-nonsense grandma just went really, really quiet as the kid was just bellowing, "I want some crisps! I want some crisps!" And the grandma just went, you know that kind of quiet storm, and you can tell it's brewing. And the grandma, in front of a full carriage, piffed the kid around the back of the head that hard. His face went off the table, just straightened up with a "what's it?" Just melted to it. "Do you want crisps now?" No. Just went really quiet.
Nice.
Got a round of applause from the rest of the carriage.
Nice. I like to see stuff like that.
You heard it here first. Yorkshire Telly supporting. Lippy kids getting beaten the crap.
Okay, let's move on swiftly.
You got a question, Albert? You got tag team preacher. You got a question?
We've got another question here. Taxi Preacher, is this going to be like old school Richard and Judy?
Well, I'll just
but
see
with a
if I
dog
can
instead of
pop
Judy. Well, there's going to be just as much wine getting consumed as Judy probably has for breakfast.
I can't shame you like.
Monitor in the background.
Richard, why are you with me? Why are you with me?
Oh dear. We have got a dog here. Let's just bring him up in case the audience sounds serious. Archie can just say a few words to
Well, actually,
Oh yeah, at last,
at
eye candy.
Yeah, he's currently working on his second born of the evening, so he'll be with us later on. What else was I going to ask you? Yeah, sorry. I'm going to leave the jokes.
Where do I get my delicious shirts? Well, thank you, Catherine. I've got this shirt in Leamington Spa. Could be more specific. It's on a label somewhere. We're not advertising, but it's got little sea creatures in it. It's got fish and it's got little seashells, and there are little seahorses in it. But every time I try and look for the seahorses, I just notice that my nipples are pointing like accusing fingers. I never stop. Unless I'm on a train, in which case I keep doing it so I can have a table to myself. People will not sit next to you if you're triple-oopling yourself. If they do, then they deserve to stay.
Okay. Dealing with hecklers is something that you obviously have to do as a job.
I like it.
What's the Has it ever come to a little bit more than heckling where it's got a bit tense?
Oh, there was a lady in Manchester who came out the audience and grabbed me by the testicles.
In Manchester?
I hadn't even said anything then. So, yes, that was the Frog and Muppet in Manchester some years ago. She came out the audience, she cooked me. She took the hanging braid quite firmly. Kind of give it there was a kind of scrungy face, like, you know.
The hanging braid. I like that phrase, the hanging braid.
The hanging braid. Great unused band names of our time. Hello, I am Silky, and these are the hanging braids.
Silky, there's a few people in the chat room saying that they're definitely not ever going to go to Leamington Spa.
Oh,
Thanks, chat room.
it's not Leamington Spa.
Leamington Spa's alright if you like Regency buildings and heroin addicts.
I like both actually.
It's just so we just lost 2 viewers in Leamington Spa. They don't have the internet in Leamington Spa. We just lost 2 viewers butlers in Leamington Spa. And one guy's selling a laptop for heroin in.
So talking about your hanging brain.
It's got a very good memory for that, yeah.
Yeah, it's stuck on them. It's round here somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, not literally. But
It could be.
I was going to ask you, like, because obviously we're both musicians, and when you go out on stage with your guitar and you know your songs and everything, you don't expect to have to deal with people giving you abuse or having to make them laugh and stuff. What's it like the first time you have to go out as a stand-up, just with a microphone? Hopefully a good sense of humour, and just go out there. Is it terrifying?
I can't speak for anyone else, but I'd always been a gobshite, as you can probably tell. That's
We'll never guess that. Big from Liverpool.
It's written all through me like letters in a stick of rock. Gobshite. I didn't find it scary. What I find scary is the concept of working in an office every day until you retire, and seeing the same people and thinking, do you know, I set about somebody with a throwing axe, aside from disciplinary procedures and needing to pay rent and stuff. I'm the luckiest man alive. Being able to make a living from telling cock jokes to strangers.
Perfect answer. So on that note, we're going to ask you if you'd be kind enough to get your guitar out for us.
Yes.
For those of you that don't know Silky, I haven't seen him perform before, he doesn't just make us laugh, he also...
There are sometimes long periods between...
Sometimes he doesn't make us laugh as well. But he's also a musician, and he does bring the two together, don't you?
Yes.
Quite successfully.
Well, quite. It's the quite that stings. I've always thought that you were quite attractive.
Sing a song, Silky.
So yeah, Silky's going to sing us one of his songs.
We're over here.
I'm going to have a listen to the good old
I've got
laugh.
to go to the other end of the sofa. I'm going to plug this in now, so watch out. Am I just absurdly lucky to get on the Yorkshire TV live stream? Well,
Yes.
maybe. If I wasn't a comedian, what would I be? My degree was in evolutionary genetics, but it wouldn't be that. I'd like to think I'd be a kind of Jason Statham style hitman stroke transporter, because I got the hair for it and I can snarl. Even out, you only bog roll, or I'll cut you like a kipper. I'm probably more likely the Tesco value Ross Kemp. So. It's quite nice. It's nice facing away from the television. Try it sometime. This needs singing along from the audience. You can't quite see the audience, but they're around there. No, lovely. Hello, audience.
Hello.
Are you happy to sing along?
Yes!
Go on then. Thank heavens. It goes like this. La-dee-dee-di-di-di, la-dee-dee-di-di-di, la-dee-dee-di-di-di-di. Now you sing. La-dee-dee-di-di-di, la-dee-dee-di-di-di, la-dee-dee-di-di-di. Beautiful, thank you. Gerald the pervert, he works in my office. You know him. He's a wrong one. You can imagine him giggling from a shed. There's 2 desks along on the left. Dirty boy. He works very hard and he dreams of his hobbies. And one of those hobbies is theft. Gerald, he's not like the others, no. He doesn't steal paper or pens. No, you see, Gerald, he steals women's knickers. Knickers. He doesn't feel comfy in men. Sing along. Just because he sniffs knickers, it doesn't mean he's a crack addict. Groan's as good as a laugh. Apart from the bedroom where a laugh is infinitely worse. Yeah, it's fun size. Drives a white van called the Transit of Venus. a dirty old mattress inside. You're not too fussy about sexual partners, you might just get offered a ride. Gerald, he doesn't like condoms. He finds them restrictive in bed, some men do. So just like a pervy MacGyver uses crisp packets instead. Here's a credit crunch. One last time, everyone. Salt and vinegar. Thank you kindly. I'm going to unplug this now, so watch out for the pop.
Right, thanks very much, Silky. That was fantastic. I don't know why I started shouting then also. Thanks very much. It's very nice. So if you'd like to stay on the couch,
I shall do. I might get someone to pass me another beer because I am a high
on our thing. We've got beer masters. We've got all this.
I can get that myself as well.
Okay, so
beer.
it's going to be time for us to bring out our second guest,
Of course.
which is exciting. He's a creative thinker. He's the co-founder of Better Culture, which has currently been taking Leeds by storm, and he's branching out all across Yorkshire. He's also a dab hand with a pen and pencil and paper. And excuse me.
Have that effect, yeah.
You can tell it's live.
Yeah.
No wind.
I've lost track now. He draws caricatures, and during the show he's been drawing caricatures of our guests. We're going to have a look at them at the end of the show. But for now we're going to ask him to put down his pen and paper, pop onto the couch. Let's have a round of applause. Ivor Toonchap. Okay, so first of all,
Great to be here.
Yeah, Better Culture, Ivor. What are you, for our viewers at home that don't know what Better Culture is, can you just explain yourself, please?
Better Culture is basically an evening of slideshow presentations.
Right.
Okay, it sounds like death by PowerPoint.
It does.
Right? But we call it sex by PowerPoint. It's a strict format, okay?
Can we just say, if there's anyone really young watching, don't try and have sex with a PowerPoint.
You've got 20 slides, and each slide lasts for 15 seconds.
Okay.
And it automatically rolls over after 15 seconds, so no one's got control of the slide. It's up for 15 seconds, and then it's gone.
Okay.
So each presentation lasts for 5 minutes.
Right.
And the major rule that we have is that people can't sell anything.
Okay.
No sales pitches, it has to be about what they're passionate about. So the presentations we get are incredibly interesting and varied, and we've had stuff from robot sex to the day job of Tintin to...
Okay, so basically people can, I don't know, I'm asking as if I don't know. I do know, I've been along and it's very entertaining.
It's for the viewers who aren't sure what it's all about.
Exactly. So, are you surprised that it's been successful? As you said, it's difficult to sell it. You're not allowed to sell it on the night because you're not allowed to sell anything, right? And it does sound a bit shit on paper.
It does. It does.
But it is ace, because I've been in it. So, were you surprised it's been so successful?
Astonished. We're so astonished that it's taken off. Because Richard, Mickey and myself who organise it. We just did it for a laugh.
Yeah.
You know, we wanted something to happen in Leeds, just as you are now. By the way, congratulations, by the way, putting this together. What a fantastic achievement! We wanted to get something going in Leeds. We thought, I'd done a Pecha Culture evening, which is a similar format, but it's 6 minutes 40.
Yeah.
And I spoke at one of them and I thought, this is quite good. We'll put our own thing together. So we did, and we invited some of our mates, and they came along, and like yourself, thought, actually, it's quite interesting. This different to the telly, gets me out, have a drink, that kind of thing.
I have to say, when I went, it did have the atmosphere of a gig. People were getting pissed, socialising, having a nice time, and then instead of bands coming on, people came on and talked about a massive variety of subjects, and it was either piss funny, or quite disturbing, or informative, or a bit of each.
Got to curlingly embarrassing as well.
And that kind of leads me on a little bit. That there was an incident at the last one, not an incident, we won't call it that, an issue that was raised about freedom of speech. Do you want to talk about that briefly?
Yes, we showed a film during the last Better Culture, which was a break from the format actually. Whilst the film was going on, I thought actually this is a mistake because Better Culture is about live performance really. But anyway, I always say we make it up as we go along, and sure enough we do. So we'll try this because it was a film based along the Better Culture format. It was made by a Leeds filmmaker, Robert St. Smith. So we thought, great, let's put it on. But actually, we forgot to look at the content of it, which is a horror film.
Right.
Somebody being stalked on Facebook and then subsequently murdered, and so it was kind of. There were people in the audience who had history or whatever it was. People took exception to it, and I accept. It was a mistake. We should have said, look, this content is contentious or whatever. People might be affected by it. But we didn't, so hands up, we hold it was our mistake. But it was like a lightning rod for this discussion about, well actually, do we want Better Culture to remain this unfettered, uncensored, anything could happen, expected, unexpected thing? Or do we want it pre-vetted? Because we don't actually see the presentations.
Exactly.
Come on.
To be honest, from my personal point of view, I think it is important that it remains to some degree unvetted. It's part of the charm that anyone can. It does raise the question, well, do you have to draw any lines anyway? Now, I know one thing you've done is set up a blog where people can chip in with their comments, so you can use that as feedback.
We put out a press release on the Culture Vultures website, and we thought, well, we'll see what the people who come to it think of it. And to their credit, the incredible power of the internet, they sorted it out amongst themselves. They had this big discussion, and the general consensus was keep it wild, untamed, uncensored. But if you need to give a warning beforehand, if people can, then great. And so we were just so made up that they were even people who were disagreeing initially. I was following the blogs and the comments and stuff, and they've actually resolved the argument. I thought this is fantastic. What a great thing the internet is, and we just made up that people managed to sort it out, and we can carry on and learn from the lesson.
Okay, well it seems to have worked out well in the end, as in the next one should be very diverse, and someone's waving their arms at me. Is this I've got faster actually. Sorry, Albert. So.
I think I'm faster.
Yeah. Okay. Aren't you got anything to say? Sorry, we have no time for that.
We just have a comment about Ivor's non-pink shirt.
Oh yeah.
I don't want people to think it's the only shirt I've got, which I have this other shirt.
I've seen it. It's very pink. And, I think the denim looks suits you, to be honest.
Thanks very much.
Okay, well, I was going to ask you a little bit about the man beneath the hat, but I'm going to wait for that because Ivor's also doing some caricatures with a guest tonight as we speak that he probably needs to crack on with. And the Better Culture format that we've been talking about, our third guest has actually presented his Better Culture performance there, so you're going to get to see that, and it's
I'll give people a flavour of what goes on.
It gives you a flavour of what goes on, and it's fascinating. So we'll probably move on. So we'll give Ivor a chance to carry on with his sketches that we're going to have a look at the end. So I guess I better announce what's happening. So we're going to cut to a quick break. It's going to be 3 minutes long. During this 3 minute break, you're going to see the most recent Yorkshire Telly video, which is Troy Fade on Ollie Chevy. If you haven't already seen it, it's ace, so watch it. But definitely don't go away. Anyway, just 1 second, sorry, just saw something important over here that I needed to. It's alright,
with all the technology, we're still reliant on marker pen and big piece of paper.
Believe it or not, even in Staples you can't get a good auto cue for less than 20 quid.
What?
I know. So, yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, of course, yeah. Next up, we're going to have the legendary, inspirational, I'm not reading this, record-breaking mountaineer Nigel Vardy. While we're setting up his slides, we're going to show this video. The other thing I wanted to mention is that, I don't know if you can see on the bottom of your screen here, we have got a donate button. We are trying to raise money at the moment, trying to raise some funds so we can broadcast this live show actually from a massive yacht in the Caribbean. Joking aside, it is there, it does work, so if you want to donate, what it will go towards is nothing to do with this 15-year-old Scotch I'm drinking here. It's all to do with getting a bigger bandwidth so we can bring more chat rooms in. The idea is it'll be much more interactive, but it costs money for the broadband, it costs money for the streaming, for the hosting, so...
And no one's getting paid here tonight.
No one's getting paid, no.
It's all voluntary.
Except...
What?
Except please don't mention that before our other guests and me know, because they might just make it ash for the door. And the bad Scotch eggs anyway, that'll do.
We just point out that it doesn't, on the auto cue, it doesn't say yacht, it says yacht. And I was trying to work out what a yacht was, and you've explained it to me. So we will spend some of the funds on basic literacy across Yorkshire.
If we do get any funds in, I'll probably use them to go back to college. So no, anyway, that's what that's for. If you feel inclined to put your hand in your digital pocket or however it works, I've never done it myself, then do so. In the meantime, I'm going to go to Troy Finn.
Restrained hearts watch and wonder, follow into and they know it well. Reach out, rise, not linger, packed up and running deeper and still. A girl of the past grows stronger as a whole of a man does weaken and fade. She looks back no longer, picks up her head and widens her gaze. We don't crack easily when our hearts grow hard in our dreams. No, we don't crack easily when our hearts grow hard in our dreams. The chains that he used to hold her have shackled him too, and he knows it well. For those who live for controlling will never be free from their own foolish spell. We don't crack easily when our hearts grow hard in our dreams. No, we don't crack easily when our hearts grow hard in our dreams. And so new life she hopes will bring love. It cannot suppress the things that they know. The days they see they have squandered, wasted on mistrust, worry and woe. We don't crack easily when our hearts grow hard in our dreams. No, we don't crack easily when our hearts grow hard in our dreams.
Okay, thank you, welcome back, thanks for staying with us. We're going to cut straight across to Nigel Vardy now, who's going to take us through his life story to some degree, a bit of a journey he's been on. We'll leave you with him. It's rolling now, Nigel, so off you go, excuse me.
Thanks a lot. Better culture, mountaineering, it's part in my downfall. I'm a mountaineer, I like climbing, that's what I do. And I like to go to some of the most remote, interesting, mad parts of the world. Places like this that you can see on the screen now. This is the base camp of Mount McKinley. It's white, it's cold, it's freezing, and these parts of the world kill people. Only 24 hours after this picture was taken, I was fighting for my life. The temperature was minus 60 centigrade. The wind was 60 miles an hour, and I spent a night out in that, and when I came out of it, I looked like this. Guys, this is the reality of frostbite. Don't I look delightful? I'm going to go bit by bit, so like body part, piece by piece, and try to describe to you what frostbite's all about. Because most people are worried about what their face looks like. Well, that's what mine looked like after about 5 weeks with the black bits. I blew my nose one night, my nose fell off, you can see the bottom drawing. My cheek fell away. The doctor said, Nige, let's give you a new nose. And I said, fantastic. How? Well, it's easy. We're going to peel your forehead off, stick it on the front of your face and stitch it down. So they did. And there it is. Faces are one thing, feet are something else. We rely on our feet to walk and get us around. Get used to the fact that if it's black, it's dead. If it's purple, it's probably going to die. If it's red or white, it's probably going to live. That's what I had to look at. Because this was the view I never saw. This was the actual reality of frostbite that I couldn't see, because I couldn't bend my feet around to look underneath. But what you can see there is good stuff peeling off with skin underneath and all the rest going. In fact, when they took my toes off, I looked something like that, because that is the reality. That's what I've got left. What you can see there is the frostbite before, this is the reality afterwards. And people tend to buy you things in hospital. They say, can we buy some chocolates, or some flowers, or some grapes? And my mate said, look, he's lost every damn nail, he's got nothing left. So let's buy him a nail brush. That's exactly what they did, the sods, because they understood comedy. They understood making people laugh. What I understood was having a vision and a purpose, and that was to go back climbing. That's exactly what I did. I started climbing on rock again. I then moved to go back to ice climbing, because that is what I love to do. This picture's taken in -25. I jokingly call it look no hands. Because about 2 minutes later, I was up on an ice face climbing like this with these very ice axes. There they are, the only pieces of engineering change mountaineering kit I've got, because they've got trigger fingers held on by Jubilee clips and PVC tape. When I came home and I'd gone through all this, my mate said, Nige, you're mad, settle down, don't do anything else, relax, chill out, man. I said, no, I want to go climbing. So I did. And I went to Greenland. Greenland's a fantastic, big, empty place with nothing in it and no chance of rescue very easily. So I had an appendicitis on the Greenland ice cap. It's not a good place for it to happen. I was treated with drugs, I was pumped full of stuff, I was told, how do you feel, Nige? I said, fantastic, let's go climbing, so I did. I came back, through Iceland, back home, spent 9 months arguing with the doctors, and eventually my appendix was taken out. The biggest, horriblest, nastiest one apparently they'd ever seen. I was told again, sit down, I said no, I went climbing in Borneo. I thought something a bit warmer this time. I'm not going to get frostbite. Well, that's great, Borneo's great for that. The issue is, you have to go round by boat. Boats are fine, until they sink. The boat I was on rolled over in the rapids, threw me in the water, kit and everything, outboard motor, over the top of my head, and I came out the other side. I came home and people said, you're mad, you want to take a rest? I said, no, I'm going to the Himalayas. I climbed this peak over here, I'm a dablam, nearly to the summit, and I camp on places like this. This is a normal campsite to me, but what I need to tell you is, I'm scared of heights. I'm absolutely petrified of heights, yet I choose to sleep on places like that. I choose to go on mountains like this. 2 to 3 minutes after this picture was taken, the rope I'm dangling on snapped. I took about a 90-foot fall down that ice face before I stopped. And the biggest problem I have in life is never getting anybody who ever wants to come on an expedition with me.
Thanks very much, Nigel. I think you'll agree it's quite a roller coaster of emotions there. Silky was wetting himself at one point and then crying and then...
Well, I saw the campsite and I'm going camping next weekend and I thought, you're not going to get noise complaints from the neighbours.
I did.
Seriously?
Yeah, there was a guy at that camp that was actually struggling. You can get mobile phone service on that camp. And he seriously had what he thought was an edema coming on. All night he was on this blasted radio to the guys at camp going, well, I think I might be okay, what do you think? Over 5 hours this went on. We're all in bed going, shut up!
It could have just been someone else with a new phone just testing out all the ringtones.
Is there anything left, Nigel, that you've got a burning desire to do? Is there any more expeditions lined up? Have you got any?
Yeah, I'm off to a place called Tian Shan, which is sort of western China, eastern Kyrgyzstan, in 6 weeks.
Okay, first climb or?
Well, there's just tons of stuff out there nobody's been on, so I'm going to try and climb some unclimbed things.
Fantastic.
Inspirational.
Silky, do you fancy going along with Nigel? We could follow you with
You
Yorkshire
know,
Telly and...
I do love my home comforts, but I genuinely think I need something like that in my life. If nothing else, because I've met the man who's invented the high 2.6.
I'm going to try counting these days. I mean, you know, you were a child, you could get to 10. I mean, you know,
it's just sunk in now, sorry.
It's been a long day, hasn't it? It really has.
It's been a long, stressful day.
Having seen the photos, having seen the slides, all of a sudden the horror of performing in front of a room full of Scouse henmates. There's no comparison. There's no comparison.
Sorry, Karen, Nigel, just got to move.
I mean, one thing I do is I actually go and speak in schools. So you try taking on 800 teenagers.
Oh, I've done that. That's fine.
That's
yeah, but when they've all been drinking, I say
800 teenagers that have been drinking. You haven't been to Leamington Spa.
I certainly have. So you China next. Where after that? Do you plan one ahead? As a
At the moment, I'm
as
3
installation
ahead. At the
as
moment, I'm 3 ahead, just purely because that's the way it turns out. So I've got possibilities of going to Brazil or Guyana, climbing there. Again, I need to sort all that out.
You never just think about Blackpool Pleasure Beach.
No.
We can get a train now.
No. I've got a 70s camper. I like to go away in that once in a while. Just disappear off into the undergrowth for a bit. But I've also got a possibility to do something for the Paralympic Games next year.
Oh, fantastic.
We don't have disabled climbing as a sport in the Olympics, but they're looking at some of us actually putting a route up just to show, you know, it can be done and these guys are out there doing it. So that was a bit of a Skype chat at the weekend with some guys in France, and I think we're doing something next year.
We'll be rooting for you if it works out. It sounds actually at least time.
Thank you.
Just because we've been overrunning a little bit, I think we're going to move on. The first thing I want to do before, well, actually, let's bring Ryan out first. Our fourth guest is Mr. Ryan Spendler. Incredible singer-songwriter. Sorry, Nigel, we'll just have to swap places with Ryan if we can, and we'll squash on here together. Yeah.
I'm sitting by your Uncle Nasty.
So yeah, Ryan Spendlove, fantastic singer-songwriter. I've heard him a few times, and I don't just say, Ryan, you are the dog's bollocks. That's it. And you've just been in America this year. Tell us about that. What was that like?
Yeah, I've just been to record my first album over there. Yeah. Went to Chicago, sent some record company some stuff, and then they backed me over like a couple of months later. I'm really fast, so I should be promoting my album now.
That would be Fable by Ryan Spendlove.
Yeah. Can we get
Hey Ryan, do you have, say, a website or a...
It's okay. Share promotion.
What would that website be? Would it be the same?
If you look at my Facebook, you'll find all my gigs and everything. Videos and things.
Fantastic.
So that's Fable by Ryan Spendlove. That's out on Candy Rat Records. CandyRat.com. Find Ryan Spendlove on Facebook.
I need a manager actually.
Yeah, we can put you two in touch, definitely. So Ryan's going to perform for us, but before we go to Ryan performing, we need to look at Mr. Tim Chack's work if he's finished. Ivor's been busy scribbling away in the corner, doing his caricatures, and I'd like us to be able to have a look at them if that's possible.
I've done 3. I'm working on the.
Who's this one?
Who's that?
Oh, that can only be.
You got on the back, it's like really nice and body there. Let's try putting him on and see if it works. Actually. Are you currently working on Ryan as we speak?
Hold them up, that's it, yeah.
Just draw an egg, draw 2 circles on it, and then a frown.
Right, we're gonna, if you want to keep a copy of these, you can, but I'm going to keep them for tonight, 4 copies. We're going to have a wall of guests. So, thank you very much for that, Ivor. Very skillful. We'll show Ryan's at the end. Maybe you can draw him while he's singing, if that's all right. It's not going to affect you. So thanks very much for tuning in. There's a couple of things I've got to say before Ryan sings us out. I'd like to say keep going on Twitter with the hashtag YTLive, because there's going to be a rerun of the show. It appears that there's only been a limited amount of people that have been able to log in and watch it. Again, that's something to do with us
Bandwidth.
not paying $3 grand a year to have the unlimited version, so feel free to donate if you want to make that a reality.
Stick 50 pence no meter, old school.
For those of you that didn't get to see it, obviously you can't see it now, so I don't mind even saying this, but tell the people that can see it that we'll send the link around Facebook and Twitter, as will Nigel and everybody else, so that you can see it. I just want to say thanks to Lumen, because they lent us some equipment very kindly. I'd like to thank Will and Lewis, Matt Humphries, Laura and Sarah that you can't see now, but they've made this happen from the set to the technical stuff and everything. I'd like to thank our guests, Ivor Timchak, Matthew Barnett, thanks for having our hands, the audience online, give yourself a clap if you've got hands free.
Respecting my girlfriend Joe, I'm going to steal Archie the dog for you. I must also say hello to the busy housewives and children.
Okay, thanks very much. I've been Albert Ross, you've been watching Yorkshire Telly Live, and this is Ryan Spell, Love to Play Us Out. Thanks.
Lead me your way, pretty lady. You can tempt me and I will obey. Run to the ground and I'll follow you down. You can throw me away, but you know I'll never be a burden for certain my love. The second I rise in the morning is the second I got you. I know I run through the fire, but I won't say goodbye to some things that you can't keep inside. And you know I'm gonna be a hand with your head to my love. Count the days I'm away, and I'll never be far from your heart. When it feels you're alone and stuck in the dark. Cry when you know feels you won't ever get far. I'll let the way. I'll be your light in the dark. There's a look in your eyes that I don't know. There's a gap in your soul I can feel. And I don't agree, it's the way it should be, but you'll never be lonely, I swear. And you know I'm gonna be a hand with your shelter, my love.